Hello, everybody. It's me. It's Andy Decayed Andy here. Hey, Big D.
Yo.
Have I got everything posted? I think I have. How's it going? This is pre Moon Pooping 2. We're not talking about Megatron this week. Oh, that's for next week.
No.
There's next week. Yeah. There'll be stuff next week. It's okay. It's fine. It's all good, right?
Yeah.
Actually, No, I'll ask you this question about Megatron when we start the show, because it'll probably just be me next week, so you won't be here, so I can ask you now, or rather when we start the show, what you think of the Megatron. But I haven't asked you. Have you got the Constructicon guys yet?
I haven't got it. I have,
because I know they're in Smiths at the moment.
Are they?
Yeah.
I think I have them all on pre-order, because I know that I missed out on because the first two sold out at UK retail on pre-order. So I think I have them on pre-order with Amazon.
Yeah, they don't have them yet.
And they're not coming in till I think the end of July.
I think it's June, like end of June. July is really far off.
End of June.
Yeah.
I've got another two on pre-order with HLJ.
Jesus. Oh, is that the 2-pack?
It might be, yeah.
Yeah, because that would make sense, because that 2-pack probably won't drop in price, I would imagine, because that's I've noticed that kind of price point, the Commander price point, doesn't seem to drop, it just seems to go.
Yeah.
But if you get it from Japan, you can at least get a little bit cheaper.
A little bit. Part of me is wondering, do I hold off? Because surely they'll do a gift set of all 6.
Japan might. I don't know if America would.
They did the Stunticons, but
yeah, that's true. They did do them in the little toy variations, I suppose, with the stickers and whatnot. I suppose, maybe they could. I guess, I don't know.
It's
too risky. It's too risky, though, isn't it?
Is there enough room to do a variant in that way with Constructicons?
Well, you can recolor them, but I'm not sure if they would bother with.
That's what I mean. Because it's not really. That's really the only color variation, isn't there? Because the animation of the toy models aren't too bad.
There's the yellow version, there's the orange version, and then there's the Diaclone version, which is like blue and red and yellow and green and all that jazz. So there's a couple of variants, but I think for the price point of that figure, they're probably not. Look how long it's taken them to get G2 Menasor out. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not out yet. They still. Who are they missing? It's Motormaster's the only one they haven't done at this point, right?
I think it is just Motormaster, yeah.
Yeah, and who knows when that's going to come out, because that's a big slot to fill up with a Motormaster figure.
It is. Yeah, you got to decide what commander are you going to replace, and it's like, well,
they can't really, because I'm guessing the only thing they can do, especially with how poorly Motormaster sold, is make it an online exclusive. It's the only thing that makes sense, I guess, right?
Yeah, and that'll just hack off a whole bunch of other fans, to be fair, because it's such a weird one, because just getting those G2 Stunticons, I didn't, but I can't imagine what's supposed to be been like if you were someone who liked those particular color schemes and wanted just those versions. It was bad enough getting the regular Stunticons.
Yeah.
I got lucky. I think I maybe paid a tenner over retail for the last one I needed, which I think might have been dead end.
Well, the question is, did you get Dragstrip? If you didn't get Dragstrip, tough tits. Because he came out quite a few years ago now at this point, like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, he was the first one, yeah.
Yeah, he was Velocitron and stuff.
Oh, the G2 version, yeah.
Yeah, it makes you think. It's strange. Yeah. Shall we get on with pooping, though? Because we've got beast machines. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to play some music, and then we can get cooking, all right?
Yeah.
Music time.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decayed Andy. No Megatron has been revealed this week. Ho, ho, ho. That's next week. I'm here to talk about Beast Machines Part 2 with Big D again. Hey, Big D.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Yeah, we could talk about new toys, but we're going to talk about very old toys. 25-year-old toys, in fact. Yeah. Yeah, think about that. if you were born around Beast Machines, you'd now be a 25-year-old man or woman now.
Jesus.
Yeah, time's funny, and by funny I mean nightmarish. Don't worry, because they'll have an existential crisis when they get to 2050 and they're like, oh my god, remember 2025 when I was a teenager? Well, a 25-year-old? No, it's fine. Time will get up to them and ruin their lives as well. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll store that crippling psychic damage you just dealt me to hand off to someone else at a later date.
I plan to become a ghost in the future and haunt people, but my haunting will be reminding them of how time is slowly eating away at them. That will be my ghostly power. Existential horror Andy Ghost. I won't make for a very good movie about, but it will scare a lot of people. But we're here to talk today, or pick up from where we left off last time, which was just Beast Machines.
Yeah.
Beast Machines. We're going to be going back again to the basics, then to deluxes, then to megas, and then I think ultra. I don't think was nightscream classed as ultra or supreme. I think it was only classed as ultra. But I don't know if Ultra was any different to Supreme.
It says Ultra here, so I don't remember his packaging being as big as Supreme Cheetos being,
but they were the same idea, which was big and gimmick-laden, if I remember. So maybe it's just a smaller version of what Cheeto was. It doesn't matter either way.
Yeah.
We're going to kick off with the basics. Luckily, we're starting off with one that I actually have, and one which I really like. One which I'd recommend.
I was looking at old Night Viper's pictures whilst we were waiting to go live, and you know what? He looks like being a damn good bit of fun.
He's another one of those Beast Machines figures where you look at him and you go, "That's a really weird fucking figure," but it kind of helps because he is a Cobra. He's. I'm trying to think if he's better or worse than Koharada from Beast Wars Neo. I don't know if I could... They're both so very different. Because all of Koharada, all of his robot is contained within the snake head and frilly bit of a King Cobra, while Night Viper is... His legs are the snake tail, and the rest of him becomes obviously the top half of the snake, which is kind of a really interesting transformation I can get to. But he does have those very odd Beast Machine proportions. And if you wanted to complain about his Cobra mode, yes, it is a little bit on the weird looking side, but that's, they're trying to get a robot to become a King Cobra.
I mean, honestly, points for effort on this one, because goddamn.
Yeah, he's very slender.
I mean, that's... we probably didn't go into too much in the last episode, but Beast Machines... One of the things working against the designers is not just how the show cheats in the transformations, but also how weird as fuck the robots are.
Yeah, it's very much animated.
They are.
Yeah, Transformers Animated had this exact same problem. I guess the worst thing about this was it was a couple of years before Animated that this kind of stuff happened.
Yeah, and you know what? Fair play to the designers on Hasbro's end for... I know we've ragged on a few of the figures so far.
Wow, they're bad.
And we'll probably do the same again this episode because some of them are bad. But you know what? Gosh dang it, they tried.
Yeah.
And with late 90s technology as well, which must have been a bastard. And you know what? Also, how fun is it to have a snake that's an Autobot?
Yeah, he's not evil. Well, we've got two, Koharada and this guy. I don't know if we've had any Decepticon snakes. Because they're very
half snake.
Yeah, Yeah, you could give him
half snake, all idiot.
I think at max, if you include him, Quick Strike, you've only got really 3 snake transformers, and 2 of them are maximals.
Yeah.
So obviously, some issues with the figure are they've given him the gorilla arm elbow joints. I can't remember why exactly. I think it's for the transformation. He does have very open hands, bitch slapping hands, and I will say that the way that they've got the weapons for the back of his forearms look a little bit awkward. So the blade kind of unfurls from his forearm shield, let's call it, and it's not the way you would usually aim, like a curved, like a scythe-like blade, because it have the scythe-like blade pointing upwards rather than downwards, which is how you usually go for it. So it looks a bit weird, but again, having him transform is quite interesting because his waist joint pivots, you swivel it like 180 degrees because it's on a swivel joint, so he does have a waist joint. And then you basically pull his entire groin section through. So then, okay, imagine you do the splits and you grab your foot and you kind of push your foot towards your other foot, and it just kind of pushes your legs along so that your foot will then get up to where your hips would be, or your hip would be, if that makes sense. If you look at the image, it makes more sense when you look at the picture. You kind of go, oh, I see. Hopefully you see what I'm saying. Yeah,
I get what you're saying. It makes my rapidly aging joints go, yeah. So but yeah, I'm with you on how that works. It's
a really interesting idea.
Yeah.
And because of all the ball joints for the knees and the hips, and there are a few extra ones in there, it allows that the snake tail is reasonably posable for a snake tail as well, which is kind of handy.
I was going to say the tail itself looks really nice and articulated, which again, such a rarity in something which has a lot of tail in a transform.
Yeah. So it's a pretty neat idea. Then the rest of the transformation is you just kind of slightly awkwardly fold him up, and a lot of it's a bit shell formery, I suppose you could say, because a lot of the hiding part revolves around the big forearm armor part kind of collapsing around, forming up the back and whatnot. But the snake head, pretty nice. There is a button in it that makes it extend very slightly forward, which they've actually activated the gimmick here. If you look at the head.
Oh, that's activated.
Yeah. If you look at the snake head, if you look at the blue oval shape or the teal oval shape, then there's a slight gap between that and the rest of the snake head. That's how far it extends out.
I thought that was just how the snake's head's supposed to look.
You'd think so, but yeah, that's pretty much as far as the snake head extends.
Okay.
It's a gimmick. It's just a very, very small gimmick. I do like the fact that the snake mouth opens, so it's quite nice. Question: did you notice that this robot has Sonic the Hedgehog shoes on?
You know what? I did think there was something oddly familiar about those feet.
Yes, they look, because of how the colors placed on them, they are super duper Sonic the Hedgehog colors, which is
they really are.
If you also wanted to throw out something, a little bit of shade at this figure, he has surprisingly a tiny, tiny, tiny head versus his body proportions. So he's both gangly and tiny-headed. It's like he's got small head mode turned on a PlayStation 1 game.
How's he balanced standing? I'm
trying to remember how much heel spur he has. I think he's all right because there's nothing on his back. Effectively, there's all of the weight is on his forearms. So if you throw his arms backwards, he's probably going to fall over. But he's just so light as well because obviously there's just not much to him.
Yeah.
So he's another one of those pretty interesting. I'd recommend getting him just because again he's a weird one, and he's so peculiar. He's interesting at the very least. No redos. There was only one Night Viper out there. I don't know how easy he is to get, but like I said, oh no, he does have heel spurs. I looked at the tech spec. He does have little heel spurs as well, so he should be reasonably balanced, I would imagine, from how long it's been since I've finagled with him. He's just one of those slightly odd-looking ones. What?
Well, I did do a quick search just now.
Oh, is he expensive? Hang on. Is he expensive because he's mint on card, or is he expensive out of card?
He's expensive out of card.
Oh, how? Okay, is this the lowest price one, or is this just the first one that popped up?
This is the only one that's come up.
Oh, okay.
Looking for. I tried Night Viper, and then I realized before the results came up that no, because that'll bring up
everything,
all the GI Joe figures.
Everything.
So then I added Beast Machines, and it's given me one result.
Mm-hmm. How much?
Well, it's coming from Japan, so it's £11.27 on top of what you're paying for it. The buy now price is £166.75.
God damn. I'll tell you this, I didn't spend that much on him, and I'm pretty sure I got him mint on card as well at a TF Nation. Maybe being 25 years old, Beast Machines is becoming rare, I guess. I guess that would make sense.
Yeah.
For a slightly odd boy. So maybe don't buy him for 100. I don't think it's worth that. If you had to spend like 20 to 30, I guess that'd be rough, but because it is a basic, so it's not huge. But £20, you could maybe skin that and be like, for something interesting.
Yeah, that gave me a slight palpitation for a moment.
I don't blame you. 100. Well, I should have known. If it's coming from Japan, they're going to be doubling up the price even higher, and then, like you say, with the added fun times of postage. Ugh, woof. Next up, we have Silver Bolts. Oh boy, we went from a really fun, kind of interesting, unique toy to oh dear, what is this?
Yeah.
Especially for a main cast character from, what would you call, season 2, season 1, part 2? How would you describe his introduction? Whereabouts in the show it was? Because I think by today's standards, it would probably be quote unquote season 2, right?
Yeah.
Because season 1 was up to the point where the spoilers, Megatron and Prime disintegrated themselves, and then season 2 would pick up from there, right? I don't think they classed it as that back in the day.
That sounds about right, because I mean I have the DVD set and it's season 1 and season 2.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't know, because I have the American version as well, which is just the complete series. So I guess that's no. But yeah, we have Silverbolt in his incorrect color scheme, and I'd say this looking from the image, I don't own this because I thought it looked hideous. I would say that this is probably about 60 to 80% translucent plastic.
Yeah, it's why I've always held off picking one of these up, just because.
Eagle mode.
Yeah, that don't help. That's Yeah.
I don't have this figure, Big D, but from the looks of things, to get him into his eagle mode, it looks like he has to do a handstand and split his legs.
Yeah, that's all he's doing.
He has to do the Eddie Gordo move from Tekken. You know, when he gets on his hands and spins. And then if you're a beginner, that's the only move that they do, and then you just get killed by it. Oh,
I mean, at least we know that he can do a novel action pose in that case. But
true.
But yeah, that's a choice. I mean, the thing is the actual head sculpt they've gone for, despite all the translucent, has a lot of the detail of the figure.
Oh, for robot mode, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
As he appears in the show, so it's actually not a bad head sculpt. It's just attached to. Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that the translucent plastic, as you mentioned, just absorbs all of the detail. So even the shape does look correct. The details do look like they're there, but fuck me if you can actually tell what it is.
Between the translucent and the Dayglow colors they picked, because I'm sure he didn't have these sort of colors in the show.
Oh, no, he was purple, yellow, and silver, and a bit of black.
Yeah,
generally, not orange and red. So I'm guessing this was the concept art that they were working from. Probably like a lot of the things, I guess.
Yeah,
and they hadn't finalized the colors. I think these colors are not nearly as good as the colors that they went with, especially with his emo-y, sad man boy attitude that he had within the show. There's also, I'm really glad for this post on TFU that they've put Griffin mode, and then they've got in brackets unofficial, rather than what they usually do and say attack mode. So that's good. The Griffin mode doesn't look bad. The Griffin mode, I think, looks a lot better than the Bird mode.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you can. I mean, you almost argue, was that maybe what they intended for it to be from the start?
No, I'm pretty sure that the legs peg into the arms. I'm sure that they do. And he is meant to be a bird. Oh, are you saying that maybe he was meant to be a griffin in the show? Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, it's just that Griffin mode feels a lot more cohesive than.
Oh, I thought you were making a reference to like his fuso form, because obviously he was a four-legged creature with wings, and he's a four-legged creature with wings here, but with a bird head rather than a dog head. I will say that I guess the issue with this unofficial mode is you can see that the head doesn't transform, and it just looks like he's turned his head around and then just flipped it backwards, kind of like a Micromaster, effectively. He comes with his weapon, which is his wings, which you pull off and have them form into what they call a sword, but I would describe it more as a Dynasty Warriors fan, that you'd give to Cedar Lee and those kind of characters, where they'd use it for magic and shit. And then there was, of course, one singular repaint from Japan, which put him into slightly more accurate color scheme. It's a bit more. This is the Cyclonus Galvatron issue, where I think Japan went too lilac-y pink, where he's meant to be more purple, and he does have the purple on him. I think the correct purple are like his forearms, his bird hands for robot mode, and his feet. I think that's the right purple. But then they've added a load of pink everywhere on him. He's still translucent plastic. It just looks like he has way more paint apps on him, so he hasn't solved that issue either. Like, his face is just translucent, but it does have the paint on it, thankfully.
And at least the colors they've gone for are more cohesive overall.
Yes,
because
they work.
That darker translucent purple goes a lot better with the pinks and purples they've used for the main body, and whereas the mainline version is just a literal riot of color.
Yeah, definitely. Do you like the bird mode better on this version?
It's still not great, but at least because it's, again, there's that more cohesive feel to it. It doesn't feel as obnoxious.
No, I agree. Pulls it together, right?
That's exactly. Everything just pulls together better than the mainline one. And I mean, I don't know if I'd ever go out and track one of these down, but if I was looking to buy a Silverbolt, it'd be this one.
Well, while I read Excel Hedges things, since you've got eBay open, I presume, slap it into see if you can find a price. I'm interested. Do Beast Wars and Beast Machines and Beast Machines returns, because I'll be interested in both. Okay, Excel Hedge says there's a reason Universe put Silverbolt back into his Fusor body. Yeah, true. Well,
because it's a great toy.
That also helps. And it's a better toy than this. I think that's easy to say. And also, Excel Hedge says Silverbolt and Black Arachnia doing their best to imitate 18 and Krellin height-wise. Oh, yes, technically, I suppose, because Black Arachnia is a very tall toy, deluxe figure compared to why I assume this is quite small, I presume. Have you found any prices?
I have.
All right.
There are only 2 listings.
Is this
none of the Japanese?
Oh, okay, right.
Just none of the Japanese repaint, unfortunately.
Right.
So,
is it under 100?
Oh yes.
Okay, well that's something.
Incomplete. So not mint in any way. Free delivery.
Hang on,
£14.
You say incomplete. So does he not have his wings?
Nope, no wings.
Oh.
No sword.
14's a lot for a figure that doesn't have like his wings. Okay, so what's the complete version like?
The complete version with a tenner's delivery from the Netherlands.
Oh, fucking hell.
Is £40. 40. Mint on card.
Oh, well, at least it's on card, I suppose. That makes a bit more sense.
And I'll give them this. It's actually the Japanese packaging as well. It's got kanji on the Beast Machines logo.
But it's the orange one, right? It's not
the orange one.
Okay,
so it's the initial release.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, again, Okay, fair enough. I don't think that's a great price for it, especially if you want to take this out and play with it. But for something that's mint on card, okay, 40 quid's fine, especially when it's coming from the Netherlands. That's fine. That's not as egregious as Knife Viper, which is 100. So I guess we can move on from that guy. I don't own this next one, but I have played with it, and I didn't like it too much. It was Scavenger, who I think has a pretty... He has almost a good design, but he has some issues, and we can talk about them. I think one of the issues straight away is they chromed his claws, and it was Dave's that I was playing with. I don't know if this is a thing throughout the Scavengers, but you can see on this one at least, the tips of the claws have had the chrome rubbed off the nubs, and I don't know if that's a consistent thing or not. It might be.
The weird thing is it kind of looks almost like a faux rusting effect or dirt effect. It's not intentional, I know, but it's just funny how that's ended up looking. I
thought you were going to say it was the worn down copper look that you get on copper statues, you know, when they've been rubbing the penis of the dog's head and it's just turned nice and shiny. I thought you meant it was something like that. Thankfully, it's not. You went for the more moderate, sensible approach. Yes. I like... You can probably tell if you're looking at the robot mode what the issues might be with this figure. So I'll let you go for it, Big D. What do you think the issues with this figure might be from the visuals that you're looking at? Because I assume you haven't played with it, unless you have.
I haven't.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's fortunately or not, but I'm going to guess for the way the arms are set up, because that's choice that they've gone for there.
Yes. They are... The way that the arms are attached is they are attached to two... Well, each individual arm is attached to a yellow pole, I guess you could call it, which stretches down from... Because it's the shoulder. It stretches all the way down the side of the body to the waist. But the problem is these bars don't really fill in the abdomen area, so he's got big gaps in the abs. And then they just kind of awkwardly peg into the top of the torso, which is a little bit on the ugly side.
I was going to ask that, did they at least peg in somewhere for a bit of extra support?
I'll be honest, I'm hoping that's a yes, but I don't remember. I don't remember. For some inexplicable reason, the waist joint is translucent plastic.
Oh, that's a fun time for anyone who got one.
But it doesn't make sense, because just above that, there's the big green block, and that's not translucent plastic. And the rest of the figure, if you look around it, I don't think that it's anywhere else on the figure. So it's just on the two wheels for the treads, which fine.
And the groin.
Okay. And the groin, yeah. Why? I don't know. Because there are aspects about the design which I kind of like. I like the tucked down head into the torso. The chest, I think that's kind of nice. That's the best bit visually. I like the guns on the side of the side/center of the pecs. Let's call them.
That's a nice touch.
Each gun's different. It's a minigun and a 3-pronged missile launcher. That's kind of cool. And I think that the vehicle mode is pretty neat. It actually reminds me or makes me think a little bit of Sawboss. It's not exactly the same, but the shape of it is reminiscent.
It does have a... You know what? Now I'm looking at that. If that's not someone in the design team going, "Ooh, could I get away with something here?" Because that is, there's a lot of Sawboss in that design.
There's enough there that you go. It's probably not realistically, but I see something there, because clearly this is meant to be some sort of drone construction Vehicle. I don't know how it would work, but I do think it's cool. It's like if what's Prime's trailer called? Does the thing inside Prime's trailer have a name? Not Roller, the drone thing, part of the repair bay.
I don't think it did.
No, I don't think it did.
But I know what you mean though. This does have shades of that to its design as well.
Yeah, like the crane neck that goes up and it's clearly the individual head. It's like if that thing was given sentience and given its own individual body, this is maybe what it would look like. So again, the vehicle mode I think is really cool and interesting, bit on the weird side, and then it just doesn't transfer well over to a good, solid, cool-looking robot, but it's almost there.
It's almost like we said before. It feels like it just needed a second pass.
Do you think maybe if it was a deluxe, it could have got there? Because this is obviously, again, it's a basic, so it's.
I think
cheap.
maybe it could have had a bit more source going for it.
Yeah.
Had a bit more potential. They might have ended up loaded with more gimmicks because of it, but
Sure.
the extra size would have given it a fighting chance, because I do like a lot of the elements here. I mean, the arms, apart from how they actually connect to the body, that is, I mean, that's not pinnable. If it pinned in securely and there was something to fill the torso in, like you said, to give it a bit more mass, that would help. As is the actual arms themselves, I quite like. I like how they've got a decent ball joint for the elbow. The claws open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thumb moves as well. And
that's kind of a novelty in a bigger price point than this. I mean, there's a picture further down that has it actually in a fairly decent pose, which makes you wonder if that one's not. I don't think the one they've used is mistransformed terms, but it looks like you can do a bit better with it going off the picture they've got.
I think we should also state it might just be mistransformed because we have seen this before from TFU. So we'll throw that out there just in case.
I mean, it's not a great toy looking at it, but it has it has so much potential to have been a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, the alt mode is probably one where it's worth taking a stab at trying to find one.
Oh, what do you think of the unofficial base mode that they've given it? Because that's not too bad either, I guess, for an unofficial mode.
It's kind of cute. I dig that.
Yeah. Oh, and you can actually see where the lower jaw of the futuristic scoop opens up, which is, again, the construction vehicle side of things, which is kind of neat. It's fun.
Yeah. And it looks like there's more translucent plastic at the back of the neck between
you're quite right.
main arm and the head.
Yeah.
Which, again, is really a weird choice, because that's a lot of translucent plastic on kind of as load-bearing joints.
But it's less than Silverbolt, so that's something.
Fair.
For its few positive, it's like, well, it's not as much. That's a boon. It did get redone into Robots in Disguise Scavenger, which a much worse color scheme, where they've gone for blue and white and then gold, which is interesting. I think he's still got the translucent plastic groin, it looks like.
It looks like it's just in a blue.
Yeah. I don't think this is an upgrade color scheme wise, but it's interesting, I suppose.
It is.
I prefer the orange and the kind of the Roadbuster color scheme. I think the Roadbuster color scheme works a lot better for this guy than
I mean, this one at least gives it a bit of a nice Arctic flavor to it, which is different. So
he must have came with somebody. He came with Robots in Disguise Night Cruise. Is that the repaint of? Yes, this is the repaint of one we're going to be talking about next, which is Spy Streak, which is a quality name. I don't know much about this one. I'm pretty sure he is labored by the fact he has a giant plane on his forearm and a giant engine on his forearm as well. I don't think those are removable.
They don't look it, do they?
No. Oddly enough, if you look at this figure specifically, I don't think it looks like a Viacon. I think this looks to me more like something you get from the G2 era, like the not the Spy Changers, the Predator Jets and the Turbo Masters and Sky Scorchers, that kind of stuff. It looks more like one of them than it does like a Beast Machine's drone dude, to me at least.
Definitely. I'll give it this: the jet mode is wonderfully clean.
Yeah, well,
from the angle we see it. I mean, it helps that he's carrying most of it as two of his arms. But.
Yeah, exactly. But I agree. The actual jet itself, it's pretty cool, futuristic kind of fun jet thing.
Yeah.
I don't like the big Cybertronian Viacon crystal on the top, which is just there for It just seems like it's plopped on there. Like, we have to put it on there. But it's nice color scheme as well. We've got the 90s translucent green plastic on it as well. It's kind of in a grayish browny color, I suppose. Metallic-y style. I don't know how to describe it really. And then red. It's pretty nice, to be honest. Wish we had better pictures of it in robot mode, but they don't show us it.
The jet mode colors look quite nice, though.
It says that there's a mechanical claw hand, which if I scroll down, that's the jet, the jet nose cone. So the jet nose cone has a thing where it can open up into a giant claw. So that's cool.
Yeah, that tracks. Yeah.
A dual missile launcher, which we see is stuck on his other forearm. And it seems
Wherever could that be?
Yeah, who knows? And he was done into 2 other color schemes, into Night Cruise, which is the figure I mentioned, and into Fireflight from Universe.
Huh.
So Night Cruise is a little bit more traditional color scheme, where he's black and translucent yellow, but then has all of the panels panel lined in a bright gray to pick them out, which I don't really think you ever see panel lining, really.
No.
And especially when it's on black plastic.
I kind of dig this guy's color scheme. That
works. The panel lining's a little messy, it looks like. But it does, I won't sniff at them actually doing the details. I don't know if I like this, maybe a little bit less than the other one, because in robot mode, all of that fun panel line detail does kind of vanish because it's on the bottom of his claw forearm.
Yeah.
And true. Again, I think the problem with this mold is I do wish that they were like detachable. They weren't just like fused to his arms, you know? But do you prefer this color scheme, do you, to the last one?
I think I prefer it over the mainline version, to be honest, yeah.
Okay. Is it just you like the color combination kind of thing?
I think that might be it. And it's always nice to see an Autobot jet, because they're normally... you never normally know what you're going to get out of it. So
yeah, I can see that. And then we have Fireflight, which is another Autobot. So it's another repaint into an Autobot, where we've gone for more medical colors of white, green, tealish green, because there's a little bit of a transition if you look at the jet mode, which is a bit of a bummer, and red.
A
little bit of a bore. The jet mode's terrible. The jet mode needed the panel lining, or the red panel lining, like the black had.
The white sadly just washes all the detail out.
Yeah, they needed something in there to make it pop a bit more. The robot mode thankfully has the color on it, and more teal is exposed, so it doesn't look too bad. I still wouldn't say this is I think the original version is my favorite kind of color scheme for it. I like those kind of I guess older, less bright poppy kind of color schemes. Do you prefer the previous one, or do you like this one more?
I think the previous one. This one, I agree with you. It's just not working for me. For white, it's a nice crisp white, but it does wash out all the detail on, and there's a lot of detail on the jet mode panels, and the green and the dark teal. They kind of work, but I'm just not feeling it.
Do you think the green and the dark teal, that they were trying to match the colors, but for whatever reason they just missed it? Because it is weird that there is this distinct color difference.
I mean, the parts that are in the green are the upper arms / shoulders and the thighs, basically.
Yeah. No, the foot. Oh, the teal or the green, because his little foot is the green.
Oh, I meant the teal.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
I'm wondering if those parts in particular are done in that color because it's a different sort of plastic, and so we just couldn't get the right color match.
Oh, maybe it was done deliberately, because looking at the robot mode, that green color are his feet and his forearms that then lead into his weapons.
Yeah.
So maybe they weren't trying to color match, because otherwise it would just be teal running all the way down.
Yeah.
It's just odd that green and that teal color together. They just don't work at all.
I mean, I do like how the translucent red looks on the chest, though. That's but then it because of how dark that has made it, because of the metallic underneath it, it makes the translucent red on the missiles and the rear of the wingtips look a bit odd in comparison.
Yeah, it looks like the missiles are like strawberry flavored, but the chest is more raspberry flavored. Like it's a little bit more pinky than you'd think it might be. It's weird. I do like the head sculpt on all of these. I think the head sculpt is again quite nice. It could be Viaconish, could not be Viaconish, could be just generic Decepticon head, which I'd be happy with either way.
Absolutely.
But I think my preferred version is Spy Streak. I
get that.
It was one that I did look at for a long time, but just kept putting it off because of how egregious those forearm parts are.
No, you hold on, because my bit can wait till the end.
Oh, were you gonna tell me some horrible thing about like he's 500 pounds or something?
No, finish your thought first.
Okay. I've never been a fan of any Transformer. Like, this goes into Galaxy Force Thundercracker as well, where they force you to have the weapon attached to the arm, especially when it's a big, cumbersome thing. If it's something you can unplug and throw in a box, fine. When it's something that's directly attached to the figure and it's a big lump of crap, usually weighing the figure down. Like, this is a great example. I guess the good thing about the giant nose cone stuck to his arm is you can use it as a walking stick, so he can always prop himself up, I presume. You know, I guess.
Yeah.
So, Big D, what did you have to say?
Well,
oh no,
I did a quick eBay search. Now I'll start us off gently. I looked up Scavenger.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he shouldn't be much.
No, he doesn't go above the most expensive mint on card is £25.
For mint on card, that's all right. Yeah,
and that's including postage. Most of these are sub 20. Some of these are under a tenner. There's one which is a fiver.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. However, Spy Streak, Night Cruise, Fireflight, whatever you want to call him, must have been popular, because do you know what I could find when I looked him up? I found one of his missiles.
Oh.
Spy Streak, and that was a fiver.
Yeah, okay.
There is nothing else on eBay for this figure.
It'll probably be because he's not a named character. Who the fuck Spy Streak? Fuck him. No one bought him. Or the people that did buy him have like thrown him away or don't care about him, I would assume.
Or people maybe just like him in hand and don't want to get rid of him.
Beast Machines figures? No. No.
Yeah.
Well, XL Hedge says that unofficial base mode that was for Scavenger looks like the Spark Extractor. Oh, that's true. It did. From the mech found in the warehouse episode. Oh, that's a fair point. Oh. I wonder if that's what Scavenger was meant to be based off of. Good call. Good call, XL Hedge.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Tankor drone, a.k.a. the one that actually looks like Tankor. We'll get to other Tankor later on. Now, the good things about this figure are he does look like Tankor. The bad things about this figure are he's well, I don't mind him being small. He's a basic. That's fine. My issue is his groin. He's very singular colored. He like his thighs, his groin, the bright silver, the neck joint area, and the shoulders, because they're all this kind of very light gray, all kind of mush into each other and don't break up the color desperately well. He's also got very big, long, drapey shoulder parts as well, which are the blue bits that they, like in the show, they'd hang down to, I think, if I remember right, they'd only hang down to about his bicep, maybe down to his elbow. But these hang all the way down pretty much to the end of his forearm, so they're double the length that they should be visually. Obviously, you need that for the tank mode.
They do make him look like he's wearing a cape, which is
it's odd.
Funny in its own right. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, the coloring just is a little bit off for me. The tank mode itself, it's what I would want. It looks exactly how it should do, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know why, but they've chromed, like I mentioned before, his chest has been chromed, and then the end of his gun barrel's been chromed as well. And I know that thrust, who we're going to be talking about later, is also chromed. But Jetstorm also had chrome on him, but not the basic version or the deluxe versions of either of those figures. Just Tankor here is being chromed up for some reason. Like, chrome is not something that has been, I don't know, super prevalent or apparent throughout the Beast Machines line, so it's weird.
Do you think someone
in.
on the design team realised that, oh wait, these are actually the versions that look most like the on-screen versions, so we might as well just throw a bit of chrome on there for extra flair?
No, because they didn't do it with the thrust drone, the bike drone. They didn't do it for that, but the thrust that does have it is the deluxe version, the one that doesn't look like how thrust should look like.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. And again, why just random ones? It feels like just random ones have been like air chrome.
Yeah,
it's odd.
It is.
The head for Tanko has been painted in or molded in dark gray, like his tank treads and forearms, which you could argue is not accurate. I think this figure would have looked just a smidge better if the chest on Tanko had been painted blue, like it should be in the show, instead of chromed silver. I don't think that helps it a huge amount.
It doesn't. It's nice that it is actually more or less screen accurate, apart from, like you said, those shoulder bits, which, again, the animation models cheat something wrong. The machine. But it's just the colors that let it down.
I will correct you slightly.
Oh, go on.
I think Beast Machines cheated for the Maximals. I think they're mostly.
That's true. Yeah.
They're kind of to, like, you look at Thrust and Thrust. There's not much to Thrust transformation. Same for Tanko, but I know what you mean. I will say, if you look at the tech spec image for Tanko, that looks a lot better painted. It looks like that's how he should have been colored. But for some reason, the version that we got was not as it should have been, I would say. He did get redone twice. Once into Universe Stockade, and then obviously for Beast Returns, which is, again, not completely accurate, but it's closer. I will say, I think Stockade looks really cool.
He does.
I really like it. He's in orange, gray, and then maroon? Is that maroon?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
maroon / burgundy, yeah.
Yeah. He's an Autobot, which okay, sure, whatever. But I think this is a really cool looking version of Tanko, to be honest. Yeah.
And the irony is that he still has the same amount of grey as the other version of Tanko did, the base version.
It's a darker grey, though, right?
It is, but he still has the same percentage of the grey.
Yes.
If you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just everything else. That nice, rich burgundy on the arms and the faceplate and cannon, that orange, which is quite a nice, almost fruity orange in a way. It's not an overbearing orange.
That's a Smarty orange.
Yes.
It's like any sweet. If you think of a sweetie and you think of an orange flavored sweetie, it's that, or candy for Americans, I should say. It's that color. I think the reason why the percentage of the gray doesn't matter as much is because his chest is, for some reason, a sand color, and because it's not a reflective silver, chromed silver.
It's not as egregious.
Yeah, the bright silver shines, right, and it's blings.
I really dig how his alt mode looks as well.
Yeah,
nice.
He's got tampos on I guess his shoulder wings, which gives this kind of nice look in his tank mode as well, which is pretty cool, actually. Yeah. So yeah, I do dig this one. Who did he come with? Because he came with someone. This figure was available with Magna Stampede, which was it was the redo of what's his name? Battle Unicorn. So it came with Battle Unicorn repaint. He came with a Minicon and Universe Terror Dive. Universe Terror Dive was another Minicon. So it was a Tankor drone, a Battle Unicorn, and 2 Minicons, which was the style of the time. This one's pretty good, actually. I think this one's neat.
Yeah.
And then we have Beast Wars Returns Tankor, which replaces the silver with blue. And he's got the correct chest this time, which is nice. I'm not sure I would have painted him all of this blue, but I guess that's probably accurate. I think. Right? What do you think of this version?
This just feels like it feels more like the actual character.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Dare you tell me about prices for Tankor drones? Because I'll be honest, the Tankor drone was something I looked at and thought would be one that I wouldn't mind having. I don't know if he is quote unquote good or not, but I thought he looked neat.
I'll be honest, I was quite surprised that looking up Tankor, the only version that comes up on eBay.
Oh, is it the Voyager?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not surprised because, like, if you're gonna get a Tankor, you're gonna get the one that looks like Tankor.
Yeah, that is the army builder, so I'm not surprised that one's hard to find.
Do you think people army built these things?
I wouldn't have been surprised to find out they did.
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely not back in the day. Not in 2000. I don't think people were army building.
No, but it's. I mean,
now probably. Well, probably. I don't know. Is Beast Machines love that much?
I mean, this design did get the Thrilling 30 update, which
is
literally just this at a deluxe scale and more coherent overall.
I wonder how much they took from this for that one. Not owning this, I don't know. I don't know.
Have you got a Thrilling 31?
No, I never got it. I didn't think it looked super good.
Because I didn't have this one. I picked up the Voyager one later on down the line, but I have the Thrilling 30 Tankor, and it wasn't one that I ever intended to buy initially, but I found it. I think I got it for like a tenner, mint on card, or it's either that or it was either that or I got it at a price break because I was buying it with some other figures, so it just made it didn't matter. I was basically treating it as like a bonus.
Makes sense.
But in hand, it does the job. It's a Beast Machines Tankor that isn't filled with gimmicks and just it is the character.
Excel Hedge says, why are all the accurate Beast Machines Tankors always so small? Tankor needs to be leader class upgrade to go with the Recent Kingdom or Thrilling 30s Rhinox. Well, in all fairness, Excel Hedge, nothing in this series was exactly what you'd call in scale.
Yeah, you don't collect Beast Machines because you care a fig about scale. You have to push that thought out of your mind.
I think if you're a dedicated Beast Machines collector, you need to be of a very eclectic taste. You know, like George. Yeah. George is the kind of gentleman I would presume would be a collector of Beast Machines. You know, slightly eccentric, very intelligent kind of person who you're like, oh, he's thinking on different levels to poor simple me. That's the kind of person.
having watched Beast Machines a few times, you do get a sense that that's what the writers were thinking of as well. Because Jesus, that show went places.
Yeah, it was good. I liked where it went.
Yeah.
TC says, all hail pink handing waving Megatron. Yes. I don't remember pink hand waving Megatron, but if there was one that I'd like, it would be him. Unless you mean like he's holding a severed hand waving hands at people.
I mean, that's something I could also see Megatron doing. Yeah. Probably more Galvatron do that, but Beast Wars Megatron that'd be his bag as well.
Oh, I've thought of a movie which you should watch, Big D, but which you really shouldn't watch because I don't know how much you can handle horror / gore. Have you seen Terrifier 2?
I have not. The name rings a bell, though. Should I add it to our watch long list for the Fluff and Hammer?
No. No, because I don't know. I don't know how strong the Fluff and Hammer's viewers' stomachs are. And like gore doesn't affect me when I see it in movies, but I watched a reaction of someone watching it last night and he didn't handle it well. I was like,
yeah. I mean, I do try and make sure if we do have anything too content heavy like that, I make sure it's the second film of the watch along.
What do you class as a content heavy film for the watch along?
Oh,
like give me an example of something that you'd be like, oh, I don't know. That's
That's a good question, really.
Have you had one?
The thing is, I've put on stuff like Predator and Aliens and.
Mm-hmm. What about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original one? Would that kind of go there?
I'd
Evil
say
Dead
so.
2?
Evil Dead 2's a trick. Evil Dead, yes. Evil Dead 2, I'd be happy to run it in the 7:00 slot, but only if there was nothing else to come after it.
Okay.
Or only if there was something heavier coming after. Or
is it because it plays a bit more comedy-wise compared to the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you're talking Evil Dead 2 and Evil Dead 3, I'd happily put in at the start. Evil Dead 1 or even the latter Evil Dead they've done.
Yeah.
I'd definitely push those to the later bracket.
Okay.
Anything that's a proper full-on, not necessarily a gory horror film. Anything that's just is genuinely going to give you a bit of the heebie-jeebies.
Okay.
That I'd make sure was in that later bracket.
Okay, I was interested. I wanted to pick your brain. Have you found prices for Tankor drones? Oh no, you said it was just Tankor, didn't you?
Yeah.
So no drones.
Just which is weird.
Yeah. So next up we have Obsidian, which I have Obsidian because I got this because I liked Obsidian's design in the show. This is not accurate to the model. He is a basic. He has firing rotor blades, so you can probably tell that if you push on the translucent bits of plastic on the bottom upwards, it's the pressure missiles, so you can fire the helicopter blades at people, which isn't a good idea for a guy that gets around using his helicopter blades. It's like cutting off your legs to throw at people. You can do it.
It does seem unwise. Yeah.
What I liked about this guy was he transformed kind of automorphy. So all you'd really have to do is you'd do a bicep curl, put his hands up to his chest, and then just kind of rotate the elbows backwards so the missiles were sticking forward. Then grab the green lower part of the legs and just pull them backwards, and then just everything, like the nose kind of goes up, the head flips backwards, and you're done. So it's a very quick, easy transformation into the Terminator 2 helicopter mode thingy that it has. And it's not the right color scheme. It is bright green and then dark green, which isn't very interesting. The head mold, I think, is reasonably accurate. You can split his legs apart if you like. I mean, it's not going to... He stands well either way because you can use the orange tips of the back end of the helicopter bit. I don't know what you call that, the stabilizer wings, whatever they are. You use them as big heel spurs, so he's reasonably good and stable.
That works,
he's just incredibly the wrong color, which was always my issue with the figure, which Japan fixed, obviously.
Yeah.
Universe kind of fixed as well. What do you think about this version of Obsidian, though, as you throw in the thing into eBay? The name.
I mean, yeah, I wish there was a... I wish they updated him and Stryker.
Yeah.
Because I think I know that Mass MMC, their versions of Roadbuster and World both had redos.
That's right.
As these two characters.
Yeah.
But that's the only times I've really seen anyone tackle them.
Well, how often is Beast Machines tackled in general?
I know, but it's the fact that these were two of the ones that really had personalities. They were really they and Botanica, Fang. I don't really. Well, Noble Savage don't count because he was weird, and maybe Megatron's medical drone was the only personality we hadn't met before.
I mean, I'd argue that the medical drone was the best character in the show. At least my favorite. He was my favorite character in the show.
I can't really argue with that because since he got a personality, he was just a wonderfully snarky little so-and-so.
The worst thing about him was when Megatron overwrote his personality and was in the drone. I was like, oh, but I like the drone guy more. He's fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that Obsidian and Stryker were amazing in terms of character because they weren't They weren't there enough, but I liked the designs. I thought they were kind of cool. They set up a good idea of what they were. Like, they were these prehistoric generals. Well, not prehistoric generals, but old generals, but there wasn't a huge amount done with them.
No, I mean, they had all the potential. Just the idea that these were two... Because I think, did they pitch them as being pre-Autobot Decepticon?
I can't remember if it was
generals as well.
It was. I think it was at the very least pre-Maximal Predacon. I can't remember, to be honest, if it was pre-Autobot Decepticon. I don't think it was, but
just
it could have been.
Yeah, but just the idea that they were these two legendary generals, and that's a very distinct thing. They weren't soldiers or squad leaders or whatever. They were dedicated, strategic soldiers or warriors, and they came into the show with a real, like I say, they didn't get as much to do in the show as you'd expect, but they sold it with telling us about them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sucks that this, again, scale is what it is with these. You kind of have to take what you can get, but
I think for the actual transformation, I think they did a good job. Like, he looks like, at least like he should. The proportions could be better. And if you wanted a more interesting transformer, this is not that figure. But in terms of repaints, he got redone for Universe. He must have came with somebody. Yeah, this one came with Universe Tanker, which was the Voyager tanker we will be talking about later. So he came with that, but this one was done into a Night Lord's blue, let's say, dark metallic-y kind of blue, and then bits of silver on it, and they changed the translucent orange pieces to translucent red, so it looks quite nice. Again, not accurate, but I'd argue a better color scheme than the standard version. Then there was, let's not look at the Beast Wars Return, then there was the Robots in Disguise version, which came with... Was he just on his own? Was he really just on his own? Apparently he was just on his own. I thought he came in a 2-pack. Oh, sure he came in the 2-pack. This version came in, let's just call it desert camo color. So, beige with... Well, is it... Okay, Big D. I want you to... go onto the vehicle mode, right? I want you to look at the vehicle mode for the desert camo version, okay? Is it a desert camo version, or if you look at the front of the head of the helicopter and you hear it go moo, is it actually a cow color scheme? Because the splodges for the camo look more like generic cow splodges. When you have a white cow and then it's just got random brown splodges on it, that's kind of what it really looks like.
God damn it, Andy! Why are you like this?
I don't know. I think it's because, like, at least in these images, the beige that they used doesn't look like a sand color. It doesn't look like a sand color for some reason, even though I'm sure it's meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, desert camo generally has a bit of a pinky hue in real world desert camos.
At least it would be a bit more orangey, right? To be sandish color rather than just beige.
It's a weird one. You know what? I think if the brown was in more of a digital camo pattern,
that would help. As it is for splotches,
don't do it any favors, because especially when you have the eyes in the cannon in the front of the nose cone as well.
And don't get us wrong, this is a cow that has missile launchers and a giant machine gun on the front of it, but cows can be pretty dangerous without those things as well. What do you think of this color scheme, apart from it looking like a cow? Because I think the idea is good. I just don't think the actual... I guess the color choices...
I like the idea. Execution is lacking.
Yeah, and I think that might be my fault, to be honest.
Yeah.
What do you know? Did you like the previous one? Oh, I've clicked off the thing. Did you like the previous one, the blue one? The blue one was better.
I actually like all the color schemes on this, to be fair.
Oh, not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the Beast Wars Return version, which is the accurate version. And I think this is... It's perfect, They've got the right color scheme on him. a negative you could say is like his face is very small, so it's quite hard to get all the detail painted on there, but they have. And the colors are right.
There's even paint on the translucent rotor blades, which not a given.
No. Yeah, I mean, if I could get this one, I would, but I won't because I have a horrible feeling that this would be incredibly expensive because most of the Beast Wars Return ones are, if you can find them, I suppose. Have you found prices on these guys then, Big D?
I have. I have only found 2 Obsidians.
Okay. Are they standard version?
Both the standard one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Both mint on card.
Okay.
One is based in the States, one's UK. Both are 30 quid.
That's a bit rough. He shouldn't be 30 quid. But again, they're mint on card, so...
Yeah,
so I get it. Yeah.
But, I mean, the UK one, there's another 7 quid for postage. The US one...
Hang on, 7 quid for posting in the UK? Fuck off.
Don't get me started on eBay sales and their postage prices.
They're right tits.
If you're not putting your price into your base selling price for the item,
it's about to put it on postage. Fuck you, I guess.
Yeah.
The postage in the UK should only be like max £5 for something big. And if we go really big, it depends how big.
I mean, that, if you put it in a box to make sure it's rather than an envelope, because if you put it in an envelope, then you deserve whatever feedback the seller gives you.
Yeah.
But in a box, I mean, that should be a £5.
Yeah, it shouldn't be 7 quid.
The American one's another 30 quid for postage.
Well, that makes sense. That's coming across an ocean, so fair enough. But
I will say, both of them do offer, say, the buy it now price or best offer. So,
that's some. Yeah,
take a punt.
I usually take it. I really lowball people when I see something I'd like, and I see a best offer, and I'm like, I'm gonna really fuck you. You're probably gonna say no, but you never know. I might get it one day.
See, I do that as well, and I don't mind someone rejecting it. Maybe a counter offer.
Yeah,
maybe a counter offer. Let's have a haggle. Let's work something out here. That's
why you put it there. You put in best offer because you want a haggle, not because you just want 2 quid knocked off. Let's proper haggle, like you say. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But next up we have a quick strike. No, not that one. It is a different one. What the fuck does he transform into? What is that? Is it like a honey badger?
I'm going to say yes because I can't work out what the hell it's supposed to be otherwise. Maybe it's a Wolverine?
Oh, that would make sense. I think it says on the card wolf. Like if you look at text spec, it says quick strike, and then underneath that word looks like it might be wolf.
Oh yeah.
Is it wolf?
I think it is wolf.
That's generous to call that mode a wolf mode.
Oh yeah, that's a very optimistic interpretation of the word.
I think you were much closer with Wolverine, to be honest.
I think it kind of fits the character better as well, to be honest.
Kind of looks like it.
Reading the bio, it just feels like,
this one's got a little bit of an odd look to it. He has a lot of translucent biceps and feet for some reason. So if you're into feet, I guess this is the one for you. Got a very broad chest. The colors are not great on him. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with the head either.
Yeah, he's... I think I kind of get it, because he's supposed to have like a really thick eyebrow, I think. But it might just be the angle we're seeing the head at, because some of these figures have had heads that don't photograph well from some angles.
That's true.
And I suspect this one might be the same, because it feels like he's got quite deep... Actually, you know what it is as well? They've tried to give him the Wolverine crest on his...
I was about to say, are they actually making a Wolverine and making him try to look like Wolverine? You're right, they are trying to almost give him the Wolverine hair, right? But they've had to really cut it down.
Yeah.
because it's almost like it does that weird. I don't even know how the fuck do you describe Wolverine's hair. It kind of goes outwards, right? I guess it's like it does that, but then kind of goes, we can't really go too far, so let's pull it back. And he does have a blade coming out of his forearm. That's kind of Wolverine-y. Well, that's more Deadpool Wolverine origin, but we don't talk about that really.
No, we don't.
Yeah, I think I just don't like the overall shape of this, and obviously they're using this weird grey plastic over most of the body, which doesn't look great either. Are his forearms for his robot mode? What part are they? The front legs of the Wolverine? No, they're the back legs.
Oh,
are they? Yes, no, they must be. They must be the back legs of the Wolverine, which again looks a bit awkward. And we're gonna stick with Wolverine because Wolf. Don't lie. It's not Wolf. Don't lie. The Wolf or Wolverine looks like it has eaten something far larger than it should have. You know, it's got I prefer the Wolverine mode though. I think because it's got more of this like brown color over it. Versus the robot mode, which again seems to lose a lot of the color.
Yeah, the attempt to get across that whole bioorganic, techno-organic vibe the Maxwell's had in the show works better in the beast mode.
Yeah,
still not 100%, but it doesn't feel as off as it does for the robot.
Do you think the beast mode looks more bioorganic, or do you think it looks more like a rejected Transmetal 2 or Transmetal 1 figure?
It does a bit, doesn't it?
I think the animal mode does. Yeah. The robot doesn't. The robot looks more like a Beast Machine robot, which is
the beast mode feels. Yeah, the beast mode does feel a bit more. Well, it looks more like a recognizable animal for one thing.
It's true. Are you saying? Hang on. Are you saying Silverbolt's eagle mode was not recognizable as an eagle?
I mean, if you saw one of those in the wild, they couldn't convict you for killing it because it's a euthanasia killing.
True. Yeah. You'd be doing it a favor.
Yes. And if I saw a cheetah full stop, I'd be bricking myself. But if I saw one that looked like Cheetor, I would be.
Oh, Exelhead says, "Are we sure Quickstrike isn't meant to be from Beast Wars? Read the bio. Quickstrike operates best alone, silent and reclusive, very intelligent, extremely dedicated to the maximal cause, though not entirely trusted by fellow warriors." Oh, I haven't heard that before. Will only work with Black Arachnia, though there's no love lost between them. A true expert at hunting his prey. Okay. Impossible to surprise. Can virtually escape Viacon detection. Emits an electromagnetic emission shield and walks soundlessly. All right. Disappears in a subtle light or shadow. Best weapon is enemies' anxiety. How would that work for drones? But sonic howls can blow Viacon's auditory circuits. Loves music. He loves music.
That's one hell of a bio.
It's not bad bio, to be honest. It's
yeah.
I wouldn't say it sounds like it's a Beast Wars bio.
It feels a bit like a remix of several Beast Wars characters.
Yeah.
Bios, to be fair.
Yeah, it does sound like an amalgamation of just like I'm a generic loner character ninja kind of guy. It's like, okay.
Actually, no. It feels like they've taken Wolverine's bloody bio and pasted it over top of a Maximal. That's what it is.
At least the clean version of Wolverine's bio. The very condensed, happy, kid-friendly version. Not the sad version.
Yeah, his bio circa 2000 as opposed to the mess it's become nowadays.
What do you mean? Are you telling me that, oh fuck, who's the really lame villain that tried to convince him and Sabretooth that they're from a long lost line of like super predator creatures?
you mean Romulus, who they brought back not a month ago.
But it's right. I don't know a huge amount about Romulus, but the bits that I have heard about Romulus make me think of Clone Saga Spider-Man. Like that kind of this is nonsense. Stop it.
I mean, at least this time around, we got the novelty of seeing Wolverine's daughter kicking his ass.
Okay, so, that's fun. That's something at least.
Because I'm a simp for Laura. She and Gabby are two of my favorite characters. So,
no love for Draken, everyone's favorite Wolverine.
Well, No,
I don't know much about Draken apart from he's there. He's part of the Dark Avengers.
Oh no, he became a member of X Factor. He's now the Helverine. He's basically a combination of Wolverine and Ghost Rider.
Oh, I saw that figure, but I didn't know that was Draken.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Quick Strike. He was not repainted, which maybe for the best, because it sounds like neither I nor Big D.
I am shocked by that.
Oh, how much is Quick Strike? Also, good luck with finding Quick Strike that isn't Beast Wars Quick Strike. I'm interested to know if he's there. I would imagine probably not. If I'm going to throw my hat into the ring of guessing things, I'm going to say he's probably not on.
He's not. It's basically all Beast Wars Quick Strike and nothing else.
I mean, that makes sense, to be fair.
Honestly, I'm amazed at how much he's going for, to be honest.
How much is he going for?
Let's see. The cheapest is 15 quid.
I don't think you should be too surprised he's expensive, just on the basis that he's a main, he's a character from the show.
Yeah.
They usually go for more.
Well, there's 2 mint on card. One is going for 65 quid. The other one for 89.
89's a bit much. I think the 60 is a bit it's high, but fine.
And there's 2 others. One going for 20, the other one for 22.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot for this size, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Next, we're moving on to deluxes. We're moving on to Optimus Primal, which is one I have. I think Gruff gave me this at a TF Nation. He just walked up to me and gave it to me and walked away. As Gruff is wanted to do.
Was he feeling buyer's remorse? Because I actually own this figure still. I bought it when it first came out.
I don't remember if he owned buyer's remorse, but it's just one of those things where it's like, you have this now. It's like, okay.
It's a weird old figure, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't... The head sculpt is Optimus Primal from the show, that's for sure, but he is in vast quantities of translucent blue, because some of these figures are, and then black.
Yeah, he suffers from the thing we've talked about before, where characters didn't have anything like show-accurate color schemes.
Yeah, it's very odd. Very odd, because this isn't even like a color scheme where you're like, oh no, I could see this being used in the show. I don't see this ever being used in the show, to be honest, for its color scheme for him. Not at all.
And the thing is, as much as the beast mode is
horrifying.
But for the actual but for robot mode, like you say, the head sculpt is actually pretty bang on.
Yeah. I don't know why the top of his head's translucent, but it's all there. Yeah. It's solid.
Yeah. If he was just in the show colors, I'd actually have been quite happy to have him in my collection.
Yeah, he'd be fine. I don't remember how good of a figure he is. I think he feels weird, right?
He does. I mean, if I remember right, I think because he's got his weird...
He's got a gimmick, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think one of the arms is spring-loaded.
Okay, it's a spring-loaded arm-throwing action in robot mode. Same feature in beast mode.
Yeah, it's
kind
of...
moves the beast face. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest.
Because how does it work? I can't remember. Is it from the... No, it's from the bicep? Or is it from the shoulder?
Yeah, I think it's from the bicep.
I think so. Or the elbow joint.
It's one of those joints that's just not fun to mess with.
Because it interferes with the feel of the figure, right?
Yeah. Because, I mean, proportionally, again, it is, for robot, actually... Take away the translucent and the color scheme, it is Optimus Primal in his robot mode from the show. It's just...
I think there are bits that are slightly different, like the way that the shoulders are designed is a little bit different.
A little different.
It's close enough, you know?
Not a game changer.
Yeah, if you gave this to a kid and it was in the right color scheme, they wouldn't mind. I don't know why they made the gorilla mode so scary. It's like the gorilla's... it's like the face of the gorilla has no skin. So you're seeing this weird, like, fleshless skin bone gorilla chasing you with, like, slightly horrible salad fingers.
Yeah, he does look rather terrifying.
And he does come with a shuriken for some reason.
Yeah, I actually hadn't twigged that they'd actually sculpted an energy effect onto it. I thought it was just a weird blade thing they gave him.
Oh, the shuriken.
Yeah.
Oh,
they
mine
tried
doesn't
to...
have that, so I knew that because you can store it in the shoulder, but I don't have it, so I Do you have yours?
It's weird. Yeah, because I always kept it on the figure, so wherever I've got the figure, that's still with it.
Do you remember if he can hold it? Because it doesn't look like he can, because it's a shuriken.
He can, but it's not. Huh. Yeah, the way his hands are designed, he can put it on one of the hands, but it's not particularly pleasant.
Is it one of those kind of, it's there, but it'll fall out if you fiddle
because
with
of
it?
how the arm's designed to basically throw it, so it'll fit in one hand, but then it only tightly enough so that the motion will fling it out. So
right, okay, that makes sense.
I just keep it stored.
Yeah, for the best, to be fair. Yeah, it's a strange one, and it was not used again. It was used the one time, and that's it. So Scary Monkey got put to bed relatively quickly. One that I've wanted, because of its kind of weirdness, it's another one of those weird non-show formers, is called Skydive, who's a pterodactyl, who's, I think, one of the few deluxes that aren't, one of the few non-TV deluxes. He's very long and lanky, and turns into a pretty alright, almost mutantish pterodactyl mode thing.
Well, that's cool.
It's got a nice color scheme on him, like orange, metallic-y blue, and then a bit of silver as well.
Isn't it funny that this? I mean, yes, he looks weird as hell, but he looks nicer than Silverbolt does.
Yes. Yes, it looks like you're getting a real figure here, even if the proportions are really weird. I think the thing I'm not a big fan of is his head looks like a little bit of candy corn.
Yeah, there is that.
It's the shape, and it is the color, and the neck. Like you can see the peg that goes into the ball joint in the neck. It's very long, very like aggressively long neck in it, a longer neck than you think should be on a robot mode. I like how the swords are kind of in the hand. They're kind of coming out the center of the hand. Again, I guess kind of like Deadpool from the...
You know what really helps with the only translucent is that Energon crystal in his chest. Everything else is nice, solid plastic and paint on all colours.
Yeah, it looks like you're right. I can't see any of the...
I didn't see any other channels.
No.
But I mean, this... I didn't even know this guy existed.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, this is a bit of a new one on me, and it looks great.
It is one of those, again, it's one of those weird ones where you look at it and go, if I was a kid, I definitely wouldn't have bought it. But as an adult collector who kind of likes fun Transformers, this looks like one of those ones that is bizarre and weird.
Yeah.
Look how long his, like, from shoulder to elbow joint. That's very long. And then he's got a little forearm, and then he's got really big hands. Like, his hands are almost the same size as his forearms.
Yeah. He feels weird. He feels weird in the way that Beast Wars did, but translated properly.
Yeah.
It probably helps that he wasn't in the show, but why does he look so much better than all the
I think the ones that look, I think most of the figures that are better are the ones that didn't have to adhere to the designs from the show because they didn't have to adhere to the design from the show, so they could be whatever they want. Effectively, they're not constrained by having to fit the mold or the models that just weren't able to do what they were needed to do. I'm guessing. Don't know for sure.
That's a fair bet, I'd say.
Yeah. He did get a redo into Skydive for Universe. I'd say he's in worse colors. He's effectively in Dinobot colors. It does, like, from the far away shot, it looks like he has a white mustache, which is kind of interesting. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but when you zoom in, it's actually more like he has a red goatee.
Yeah, it's weird. It's either white mustache and red goatee or just red goatee. It's too much boring gray plastic again. Pterodactyl mode, I think, isn't too bad. It's not got a sniff on the original version of it, though, I don't think.
No, but, in fairness, that brownish grey plastic they've used, they did use that on a few of the Beast Wars repaints they used over the course of like Universe, and I think the Optus Primal for Cybertron they did had the same sort of color.
Yeah.
So there is it doesn't really work for him as an individual character, but as part of a broader team, it kind of would work better to kind of bind him to there. Even though it's not something that is really a common thing in Transformers for a faction, unless it's like a special team. It's kind of fun it's kind of nice that they did keep that vibe going across a lot of those sorts of the maximal type Autobots that they translated across.
Yeah.
So,
in terms of features, apparently this had spring-loaded wings that became weapons for the robot mode. So I imagine those are the claw sword parts, and spring-loaded beast head attack feature, which I don't know what that means. Maybe the pterodactyl head extends.
I think it might be the jaws because his mouth opens and closes.
I would have maybe. I would have thought they were just on a joint. I think like if you look at the original version, and you look at the beast mode, if you look at the head, it's on this kind of joint where it looks like a gear. So I'm guessing maybe you press a button and the head just kind of pops forward, like it's on a latch.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. It is just a guess. Have a look for Skydive if you could. I'd be interested to know if one you could find him, which I assume you couldn't or won't be able to.
Surprisingly, there are quite a few of him.
Oh, really? Of Skydive, like for good prices?
I'd say so. There's all right. Mint on card.
That'll be expensive. Reasonably.
Well, the most expensive is 81 quid from Germany.
Silly
Going
Germans.
down the scale. You got one for 45 and one for 40. And then the cheapest ones, you got one that's being sold as spares because a lot of the joints are quite loose. That's
okay.
£9.
All right, well, for a junker, fine.
And one that actually looks pretty, from what I can tell, is complete and in pretty good. Actually, it might be missing the lower jaw from the beast mode, potentially. Oh, actually, no, great condition intact. That is £12.15.
Oh, that's not bad.
Plus £3 postage, so I'm going to add that to my watch list.
Yeah, why not?
Because that's quite groovy. I'm actually surprised that showed up.
Yeah. I mean, why not? The Cancer Man says the mustache and swords gives me a bit of the Errol Flynn vibe.
Yeah, the helmet of the Universe repaint does have a bit of the classic movie bad guy with the dodgy helmet vibe as well. So he's fulfilling multiple roles. I do dig it.
Well, next up we have another deluxe, which is Snarl, which I have seen quite a few times. This is a lion dude. It feels like he's got a little bit of design. Well, the design cues came from Alpha Trion took these from Transformers 1 a little bit. I'm getting those kind of vibes from him.
Yeah.
He comes in a very dirty gold kind of color, antique gold maybe, and then metallic-y blue and orange. So not the best color scheme, I'd say, but I think for like a looking robot, it's okay. I don't think it's as striking or as interesting as Skydive, who we just looked at, but this one's okay. It's not too bad, and I think the line modes maybe one of the better line modes that we've seen from Transformers.
I'd agree. Yeah, it's a nice cohesive line.
I think what really sells the line mode, it's certainly not the tail. The tail's pretty poo. What sells the line mode is the mane and the line face. Both of those bits, like they're the key bits, and they've been doing pretty well. Like the front paws are clearly just his hands with like gold knuckle guards over the top of them, so they look a little bit on the rough side. And the tail isn't attached to the body; it's kind of stuck on top of the body, so again looks a little bit on the strange side. But what do you think of this?
I dig this guy. I like the vibrancy of that orangey red they've used against that. Like I say, his metallics do look very antique. which is a nice look.
I don't think it works too well with the blue or the orange. I think some different colors would have been better. I think generally I'm not a big fan of the armor going over the hands, because it kind of looks like that in both robot mode and in animal mode, and they look a bit. Again, it just looks a bit strange.
Yeah, maybe if it folded back a bit better in robot mode, that would have.
It could help.
Maybe folded up the forearms a bit more. That could have helped it a lot.
Apparently, he has a spring-loaded fist attack and works in both modes. So he'll do something with his hand.
Yeah, but you can see where there's like a gear mechanism in.
Oh yeah, there it is.
One shoulder.
Do you think that means it just spins the fist around, like spins it round? I don't know. Maybe.
I'm generally not sure on that one.
No. He was redone into actually a much better color scheme for Transformers Universe. And they did him into black, and they kept some of the, well, it's not the exact same anti-gold, but it's close enough. And then they put him into like a blackish gray, a very, very dark maroon, and then bits of yellow. I much prefer this one, to be honest, Big D.
Yeah, I think I agree, because the previous one really is more of the colours. Excluding the orange, the previous version is much more in the colour scheme of Optimus Primal in the show. This one feels... It feels a bit more unique.
I really like the flame effect they've done on the mane as well.
Yeah, in fairness, the mane on both versions is done really nicely. This one, though, because the previous one fading from silver in the middle out to orange, but this one, the fact that the fading effects is all over the mane, and as you said, they've done it in like this flame effect.
See what it looks like. To me, it looks like the fire is burning away the goldish, copperish color and leaving silver behind.
Yeah,
which I think is a really neat effect. Don't get me wrong, the flames are not perfectly painted. They look a little bit weird. But the idea and the fact that they did this for every figure is really nice, to be honest. And I think the color that they've used on the face, which is the black, and then this, I guess blue, helps highlight the face a lot more.
The face was a bit washed out in the previous deco. This one, and I'd say that in fact, using that dark grey for most of the body panels, coupled with that antique gold that I've used in place of the orange for the inner frame, so to speak, for robot, that helps. You can still tell he's got the knuckle guards over his paws, but it doesn't look as obvious. It sells it a little better than if the paws were orange underneath gold.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I've never seen this one on eBay. I've only seen the standard version, and I've seen the standard version a couple of times, obviously, in the past. And obviously, again, it was not one of those popular ones, because it does have a very unique look to it, for obvious reasons.
Well, I found one.
What, the Universe version?
Sadly not.
No, I didn't think so. I would have been shocked if you had. Universe seems to be quite rare, to be honest, now.
Yeah, Universe was a pain to get hold of anywhere over here, if I remember rightly. But no, the Beast Machines 2000 release is someone's selling it for 50 quid, mint on card.
50? Oof, that's a bit much, but okie dokie. Well, fair enough. Shall we talk about Stryker? We've talked about Obsidian. We've got Stryker now, who, again, is in the wrong color scheme. Has really, really weird hands. Really weird hands. It looks like she doesn't have forearms, and she just has bicep joints that goes into a swivel elbow joint that goes into massive fingers.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre. The head sculpt's still on point and correct. She has her weird round feet, which again, that's right and on point. The legs are a little bit on the thin side. I think mainly for the robot mode, it's the arms that are big, what the fuck was happening here. And obviously the color scheme's wrong. But the vehicle mode looks correct. I'd say that looks spot on from what I vaguely remember of her mode.
I'd agree. Vehicle mode is a striker. Robot mode, the hands are,
What were they thinking?
Otherwise, it's just for color scheme, which is...
It's not bad. It's just wrong.
No.
You know?
Yeah. And at least her being a deluxe versus a basic for t'other one does mean that they're consistent to some extent.
That's a fair point. Yeah, in terms of accuracy and size, they're both of them are to scale, I guess. Better for worse. This was redone 2 times. Obviously, once for Beast Wars Returns, and then prior to that, we have the Universe Nemesis Striker version as well. So let's have a look at that one. I'm sure this one came in a 2-pack. I know it doesn't say so here, Big D, but I think this came in a 2-pack with the Obsidian.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? That seems like the obvious 2-pack to do.
Because they're in similar-ish color schemes. Obviously, it's not perfect 1-to-1, but she's in a kind of deserty brown with brown on her as well. And so I might be wrong,
makes
though.
sense.
Yeah. What do you think of the color scheme on this version? We have slightly better pictures, so we can still see her horrific long fingers.
Those hands just get worse and worse the more you look at them, don't they?
They really do. Yeah. Imagine someone chopped off your forearms and then just stuck your fingers to your elbows and then stretched them.
It's the fact that her palm is really long, and then her fingers.
Oh, so I misread it. I misread it because there is
right up.
I looked at. I thought they were all finger, but it looks like there is a knuckle joint in there.
Yeah, that's. Either way, it's horrific.
It's not great.
No.
Vehicle mode again is nice. Vehicle mode still looks nice.
I'm not sure about these colors though.
They're not the best. I take out the baby blue. The baby blue is weird to have with this kind of poo-colored brown or chocolate brown.
I think the yellow eyes might be what's really.
That was a bad. Yeah, that was a bad choice.
Yeah.
100% a bad choice. Yellow next to sandy brown color, they're too similar. They do get lost.
And then get some good old Space Wolf baby blue.
Like really baby blue. Like baby blue that you see down a literal baby aisle in a supermarket. Not a color I would have gone for, personally, but what do I know? In terms of gimmicks, we have a button-activated pom-pom cannon attack. What it says here, and pressure launcher missiles. I don't know what it means by pom pom. I think it just means they go backwards and forwards. Is that it?
Your pom pom guns.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Oh well, that's kind of a nice gimmick, to be honest. That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's kind of not always a given, that one, to be honest.
No, and then we have the Beast Wars Return version, which is again not exactly correct. As it's incredibly pink. This is like pinker than RC pink. This is candy store pink kind of pink.
That's the sort of hot pink for Sears retinas if you're not careful.
Yes, and you know what's annoying? I think they have the correct purple on the vehicle mode on the front of the head for the vehicle mode. I think that purple. Pinky kind of color would have worked better if it was across the figure.
I think because they've given it a wash, it's just taken it down and picked out some really nice detail as well.
Maybe that's it. I don't know, but the pink is way too hot, But it does look accurate.
Hasbro invest in some non-oil and Agrax Earthshade. It'll do you
ton of good.
Toylands a world of good. Just do a dip. You've done everything else.
You know what's weird? The next strike. Well, I don't know if there's been recent. Have we had a recent striker? Because the next striker they have on the list is the BotCon version of Warpath.
Yeah, she's not had a figure otherwise. Not in mainline.
Bummer.
Yeah, because I think she's not had a figure in any of the subsidiary lines they've done over years.
Well, what do you think of this striker? Do you like her?
I do. I just
See, I'm annoyed by how again it's just off the color scheme. Like you redid all the figure,
closer,
and it's closer, but it's not there. And you specifically did it to be toy accurate as well, or show accurate colors, and you missed it. That's the annoying thing. It's like you're so close, and then you mess it up at the finish. It's bizarre. I guess we could talk about Thrust now. Deluxe Thrust, which I have, which looks nothing like Thrust, really. So one thing to mention, I'll do it now. If you look at the head mold, right, the little shot of the head.
Yeah.
Do you see the green bit for his mouth?
Yes.
You see the bit just below that, where it's got the little pointy bits. That is on a joint where you can pull it up and down like a mouth.
Ah.
I don't know why. I don't know if it's meant to be a mouth or what, but I don't know why it's there, Big D. I don't know. This is again one of those very strange figures. Because obviously he has his mono bike leg mode. He can go into a tricycle mode as well for his robot mode, which is kind of funny. They've added a load of purple on him. The arms don't feel desperately good, I'll be honest. One hand stretches outwards a very small amount. Like if you look at the image, his right hand, the left side of the image, that claw comes out slightly. Like he's trying to grab you from afar, like a grappling hook, but it just barely comes out. And then the other one's a missile launcher.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you would have thought they'd just do 2 missile launchers, but no, they do one grapply kind of claw thing. The head is on a very long neck joint, which you can see in the... I mean, if you look at any of these images, the walking mode, the 3-wheeled mode, you can probably see how long that neck stretches up from behind the back piece.
Yeah, he's got a lot of neck going on, doesn't he?
A huge amount. He does have feet as well, so if you want to put him into standard walking mode, you can flip out toes from his feet. The problem is because they're on wheels, they will spin around if you pick them up as well. So you pick him up and his toes will start turning around his feet, which is kind of strange. He is again one of those very strange feeling toys that Beast Machines tends to have. I will say though, the bike mode is looks really cool. Looks nice.
I was going to say, if nothing else, the bike mode looks fantastic.
Yeah, you can see where his robot head is. It's not really hidden at all.
Yeah.
For some reason as well, the bit behind his head, where the purple stripes, purple and orange stripes are, those pieces split apart slightly, which you can kind of see in the first image.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because it doesn't really. It feels like a hinge joint that doesn't really facilitate anything. They can do it, but I don't know why. It's odd. And the arms are on. You can probably see the arms are on sliders. So the elbow joint slides down, and then you rotate the silver part, so the engine's points backwards. So again, because they're on sliders, it feels a little bit on the strange side. It's just a very weird toy. It's not one of the ones I would recommend. I'd say don't bother personally. I'd say I go for the drone because the drone looks more accurate as well.
I mean, I will say I actually do like how they've got that purple and that yellow. I do like how they've applied that.
Yeah, they've even done it as like, I guess, bee stripes, and the front of the bike head kind of looks like a wasp, more so than anything else, because obviously he's Wasbinator, spoilers. XL says, Wasbinator's a big, beefy biker bot now. Thank you, Megatron. Yeah, well, he wasn't this big. He didn't get this fancy. He wasn't allowed to, according to the show. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of this, because I have it, and it was just it was disappointing, I would say. One that I remember seeing in the Argos catalog many thousands of years ago is Voyager Tankor, who I never got. This was in my interim of not wanting Transformers, but then every now and again seeing it in an Argos catalog being, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, did I pick this one up? But I might have got this at Rollout Roll Call 1 year I went to it.
Do you remember how he was? Because he's got very, very big forearms. As it's just the front of his tank.
Yeah, he's a bit of a chunky lad.
Mm.
He feels quite. I don't want to say he felt bad in hand because he's got a nice heft to him. He just felt a little off.
Is it just because of how big of his arms are, or what do you know what it was?
I think that was it, and not having instructions, he was a little awkward to try and get transformed properly as well.
I bet, yeah.
He's
things I like about I like the face design. It's not exactly the Tankor face, but it's kind of the Tankor face. Kind of like the thrust is kind of the thrust face, but it's not. I think it looks nice.
I mean, this makes sense as a general character. Yes. It feels that way. It's just ironic that Verhoeven decided to just make the generals bigger versions of the drones instead.
I think we have to assume that Hasbro wanted them to be their own models, but they couldn't afford it. That has to be the reasons, right?
Given the time period we're talking about for CGI animation, that does not surprise me in the slightest, because Mainframe, bless their cotton socks, they did a lot with them. They did as much as they could for shows. But
yeah, they were pretty much the first, so you can hardly complain at Mainframe, that's for sure.
No.
I will say I do like this tank mode. I think the tank mode's pretty cool. I don't know about the head for the tank mode. It reminds me of something, but it's not Tankor. It looks like a Lego head. Do you remember the UFO invader aliens? For some reason, it's reminding me of them.
I'm getting a bit of that. I'm getting a little bit of Barnacle, to be fair, as well.
Maybe that's it.
Because of those cheek guards that are protruding.
Yeah, and then the little tiny, what you guess would be like a mouth. Yeah.
I mean, at least it's nice and it's not just the robot mode head. It's the turret that looks like a head.
Yeah.
You know, so it's distinctly its own thing, which is quite nice. And it is quite a nice tank mode at the end of it.
I'm not sure about the attack mode.
Ah, yes. They did love an attack mode, didn't they?
Yeah, well, I'd say this was better than... what I say is better than Jetstorm's? Because Jetstorm's had the rotating turret thing, which was kind of cool.
At least this guy's got the blades inside, but the spinny blades, so you can imagine him running people down. And
it feels like a wacky racist mode, right?
He does a bit, yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. He did get redone. Only once. I thought he got done more than once. But this was the 2-pack that came with, because I mentioned it earlier, Obsidian. Oh, this was the one that came with Obsidian. I don't know who came with Striker then. I actually really like the color scheme on this, even though it is a bit on the weird side. He's got like a purple explosion damage on the tank turret mode, and then on the tank literal gun barrel as well. He's green and yellow and bits of red as well. It's pretty neat, at least vehicle mode. I don't think it pulls together as well for the robot mode, but again, I think the robot mode, color scheme wise, it's interesting.
I mean, he has color, which is kind of a bit more than we said. The regular version is basically black and gray with bits of silver and red.
Yeah, orange for the vehicle mode, like you said, was red. Sorry, whatever.
Yeah, but this is it's just more fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess that's what most of the universe was, wasn't it? It was just fucking weird color schemes on just everything that we've got left over in the factory.
But it's been applied nicely as well, and that, like I say, that battle damage is a nice touch.
Yeah, if that's what it's meant to be, it might not be.
It might be supposed to be like a dark energon thing, because weren't the Decepticons in this all
Servants of Unicron or something?
Yeah. So better track.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. In terms of gimmicks, he has gear-driven saw blades. So I'm guessing when you have him in the attack mode, you push him forward and the little blades go. So that's fun. And then it's got a spring-loaded missile launcher, obviously in both modes. I can't say I'd say to get this over the drone, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, but I can't say that it's got a distinct look. I don't think it looks great, because it looks quite limited, because he doesn't actually have full elbow joints.
You know what he's reminds me of, though? Now I can clearly see the saw blades in his forearm. Oh, it's bloody Tybros for Red Wake.
Oh, okay.
Especially in the basic color scheme, which is... For anyone not aware, Tybros is a Space Marine character from 40k who has the unique weapon, which is twin lightning claws, which also happen to have dual chainsaw blades in each palm.
Yeah. Don't high five him.
Yeah.
Don't shake his hand either. Not that kind of guy.
Yeah. Yes.
Next up, we have Blast Punch Optimus Primal. So this is a step up in accuracy over the previous Optimus Primal, but it's not the best Optimus Primal because that came in the weird RID line, the aerial assault one. This Optimus Primal is very translucent-y and orange, but otherwise pretty accurate, I'd say, right?
I'd say so. I mean, the beast mode is still a bit more aggressive than Primal ever got him to show for in beast mode, but
mostly, yeah.
But I mean,
I'd say it looks like a bit of a lazy transformation. It does the Beast Wars Optimus Prime lazy thing of just the shoulder pads fall down and sort of cover the arms. It's worse here because they're translucent orange, and the gray doesn't really hide any of that. And then you turn the forearms inwards. So again, it's not really hiding the orange. It's just kind of, you don't see him. Then he just kind of sits down on his back legs. And then you clearly do something with the chest and whatnot. But I wouldn't say this is a desperately interesting looking transformation to monkey mode.
No, it's, like you say, it's basically playing the hits for how Optimus Primal has transformed in the past. And once again, the real letdown is the colours. If it was just, it's for translucence. If that translucent wasn't there, and it was more accurate to the colours he appeared in the show, and don't worry, this is actually closer than the previous one by a lot.
Yeah.
But it's just a shame because it's getting there, you know?
Yeah.
Getting there.
I don't know how he felt in hand. I don't know if this was a good figure or not, but oddly enough, this was not redone for Beast Wars Returns. So this is the only version of the Optimus Primal figure. This version of Optimus Primal. I'm guessing Japan was happy enough with the really big aerial Optimus Prime one and went, fuck it, it'll do. But I think this would have looked. No, I think this would have done obviously a lot better without the translucent plastic and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, if this had a do-over just in the same sort of colours as the Air Attack figure, which is pretty much show-accurate colour scheme-wise.
Yeah.
This could probably have done quite nicely for a lot of people as their, the version of the character.
Yeah. It wouldn't be like an amazing figure, but you go, yeah, okay, yeah, fine. This is fine. This'll do.
Yeah.
In terms of things, he has a spring-loaded missile palm. I don't think that means his hand fires. I think it just means the missile comes out of his hand, which is fair enough.
Yeah, it's why one of his arms in all the pictures is a bit more rigid than the others. Because the missile basically goes right through his arm, so you can't do much of it.
Fantastic.
Bit of a shame. Yeah.
There's a button-activated wind-up wrist spinning action for her pleasure. And a spring-loaded punching gimmick as well. So he's got all of the things into his arms. So I'm guessing that's why, again, probably not a great idea whether they're all translucent. But, I can see the spinning hand. That's the one. That's the one that has the big blue joint in it rather than the translucent joint for the wrist.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Man. Well, you love gimmicks. So that's... that's the thing. XL Hedge says, I always found it Beast Machines was forced to lose the traditional Optimus Prime robot head. Found it weird. Well, it's different from what you would be expected. I didn't mind it. I could see why it would throw people. I mean, all of the head designs in Beast Machines were kind of unique, let's say.
Yeah. I mean, I get where he's coming. I do get where he's coming from. it kind of reflected. All right, it didn't so much reflect his new position because it's kind of a weird position for characters, but given how they position him, Beast Machines is probably the least Transformer shirt of fundamentally. So, despite the fact that
at least he didn't have hair, you know, he didn't have a little bit of hair coming down over his face, and like a figure we'll be talking about soon. He also has a better face than Rat Trap, who we'll be talking about next. I think the face is different, but because it looks ape-ish, I still associated it with Primal, so it worked for me well enough. But like I say, it is very everything. Everyone looked very different from how they did. So, and speaking of that, we have Rat Trap next, who I never got because I hated the design in the show. I always thought it was lame, and I think the toy looks pretty lame too.
Yep, I actually quite want. At one point, I was trying to pick this up just because I liked the beast mode. Because I think it looks.
Yeah, the rat mode looks so. Well, okay, hang on. Let's roll that back. I think the beast mode looks good, and then look at the head, and the eye is way too big.
Yeah.
The eye is strangely large.
Rat Trap hurts mainly because his personality was so different to all the other characters.
Yeah.
Well, and that goes a long way to explain why people get a bit about him. But yeah, I mean, at least this version has feet, which in the show he didn't most of the time.
They actually have his wheels seem to pop out into weird, like animated prowl shurikens, which is interesting if you think about that. He doesn't have proper hands though. He's using clearly his back rat legs for hands, which look a bit weird because they're not on wrist joints. So he can only do like Mr. Burn poses, I suppose, effectively. Which is a bit of a bummer. He has his tail for a weapon, so you can plug that into his hands, I suppose. In terms of gimmicks, what do we have? We have tail drives gear to turn head and ears in beast mode. Oh, I see that. Okay, that's thrust. Jetstorm kind of has that kind of gimmick as well.
Yeah.
All right,
and it makes sense given this is an ultra class figure, same as Jetstorm.
Yeah, it's not like an amazing gimmick, but yeah, okay. I like the fact it makes the ears wiggle. I don't know to what extent, but that's okay. Well, fair enough. Flip down visor, so that's for the robot mode, clearly. Oh, that'll be his super giant faceplate thing, isn't it? Yeah, that'll be what that is.
Yeah.
Moving jaw in robot mode. In robot mode?
Really? Yeah. I'm just trying to make it out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Not a huge amount, right? I would imagine.
I don't think so, no.
Flip out blades from wheels, yeah. If you look at the tech spec image, it's a little bit easier to tell that they do that. But yeah, this is another one of those. This figure's pretty ugly. I wouldn't say is super appealing on a not super appealing character. Would you agree with that? Also, his rat head is literally sitting behind his robot head, looking forever.
Yeah.
Which he didn't, obviously. I don't know what... I think because of his gimmick, they weren't able to do anything with that giant rat head.
It's kind of... It sounds like we're on a broken record with some of these, but so many of them, the gimmicks, what's limited what they can do with translating a design that's already a pain in the ass into physical form.
Yeah, it's definitely... He's a really hard design. Also, we'd like you to include these things into this class. And you go, oh.
Yeah.
No, stop it.
Yeah. It's a shame because, I mean, as much. He did have a proper arc over the course of Beef Machines. It just sucked that it was attached to his character.
Yeah, to the wrong character, and it didn't make sense to have Rat Trap with this character development, and then with what I found was a pretty lame maybe not transformation, but design, because I thought the rat looked good. I thought it looked like a rat, cool, very nice, but then transformed into this really lame design.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even that he had wheels for legs. I didn't mind that. It was the head. Like, the face looked lame.
Yeah, but for me, it was the face as well. It just didn't work.
Yeah. Exelhead says, Ratrap, what do you mean I had legs this whole time? Now, that would be a funny thing. In the last episode, he transformed his legs. And, oh, shit, well, there you go. Who knew? My bad. I didn't get a repaint. This was the one and only. And then the final one, we have Ultra. It's not Supreme class, but it's Ultra class Nightscream. It definitely gets put in the same kind of category as, wow, what a toy, as Cheetor. Because this is not a handsome figure once again. No. But again, they were trying to turn an egg into gold, which I don't think you can do even with alchemy. Big hands, big long fingers, that's accurate. Very slender lady feet and legs. Those legs are literally a ladybot's legs, right?
Yeah, they've got me worried about how much weight has been put on them.
Yeah,
given they're translucent.
Yeah, it's a look. So there's a few modes they have in here. They've got robot mode, beast mode, gun mode. What? Gun mode.
Yeah, I was looking at it and I was like,
is this official? Right. Oh, it might be. Beast attack mode and then robot attack mode. Let's read the things first. Okay. Okay, so he's got a disc launcher. That's why they say he has a quote-unquote gun mode. That might not be real. Light up chest. Okay. Kick attack, gun emplacement mode. I don't know what that means. Kick attack, gun emplacement mode.
It looks like we're trying to use his legs as gun barrels because the disc launcher's nowhere near being... Because it's on his back in beast mode.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's because they were trying to do his sonic attack, which he had a big, like, a Hunchback of Notre Dame lump on his back where it kind of shot from, at least in robot mode. So I'm guessing that's what they were trying to replicate here, which doesn't desperately look like it works the same way. You know, a big sonic wave into disc form?
Maybe.
It was an attempt. I think the bat head is, for the time, reasonably okay. Let's say that. Yeah. It's reasonably fine. It's not perfect, but it's like, okay. It's okay.
Better than the robot head, I'd say.
Yeah. Are the ears translucent or are they painted? I think they're translucent blue, right?
They look translucent to me, so that would suggest the whole head is translucent. It's then been painted.
I don't think it's the whole head, because the center, like the
caramel
color, that looks like it's... Color. Yeah, the caramel color looks like it's solid plastic. I don't know about... The eyes are not translucent, so I don't know why have the ears and clearly parts of the head translucent, because the eyes seem to have been painted over with a metallic-y blue kind of color. It's one of these figures you look at and you just go, what were you thinking? Also, I don't understand this gun mode that they're talking about. I'm looking at it and I don't see a quote-unquote gun mode. They just folded the wings down. I don't get it.
Folded for wings down, sprung for legs forward.
Yeah. And for the wings being as big as they are, they don't really... they don't have that grand wow factor. It doesn't seem like. It seems like they should unfold more than they actually do.
Yeah.
And the bat mode image, at least here from TFU, looks like the bat has fallen out of the tree and now can't stand up anymore.
Yeah.
He's doing that heroic, like there's an explosion gone off, and he's doing that heroic, he's crawling across the ground, reaching for the gun to kill the bad guy finally. You know what I mean?
I do.
It's I don't know, man.
It's not great. I mean, things I was going to say, at least for disc launcher is.
Yes.
I'm trying.
Are you scrambling for something positive to say?
I'm really trying, because I try really hard to be Mr. Negative, as people who listen to this for any time will realise. But Is it weird that I think that Depth Charge did the disc launching gimmick better?
Oh, he did it way better. He did it way better. I mean, it
for one
was
thing, you
literally
didn't-
just his chest, but that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, at least you didn't have to do like this guy does and lift the whole unit out of his back to fire it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why you'd have a disc launcher work like that, because like I say, I think it's because that's how his sonic cannon worked in the show. But it just looks weird. Just have a single missile launcher that you can plug onto his back and then fire it. That would make more sense than a giant disc launcher.
Yeah.
Mr. White says, picked this up for £2 at a car boots last summer. Still not quite sure what to do with it. It never looks like it's never not looked like roadkill. I mean, from the beast mode image, it's hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you'd want it in robot mode either, because again, the robot mode looks really weird. This is right. So, as a whole, Beast Machines is a weird collection of this robot looks weird and bad, and this robot looks weird but kind of cool. That's a lot of the line. There's also a huge amount of...
Sadly, it is, yeah.
Why is there so much translucent plastic? That's a lot of the line as well. And why are things incorrectly colored?
And how many gimmicks can we shove into one figure?
Yeah. The bigger the figure, the more gimmick they gotta have. And it's like, do they? Yes.
Yeah, it sucks to be so down on some of these, because honestly, some of these designs have had so much potential, and you can see where the designers have really tried to bring a character across that doesn't work in the show. If you think about it logically, it just doesn't work how they transformed. But they've just... It doesn't help. This was 2000. This was pretty much... Would you say it's fair to say this is like the nadir of the Transformers toy line, even more than the tail end of G2?
I think it was probably a strange era for them. I wonder how much money Hasbro had to spend for like doing a CG show like Beast Machines, because that would have been quite expensive. I think they really hampered themselves doing such weird designs, and I think the only ones you can translate now easily or with greater ease into like modern day figures, they're not the Maximals. The easier ones are the Viacons, because they've got angles, they work. They have there's a certain sense of logic to where things are placed, and you can finagle stuff and fake things. I think it's much harder to do with any of the Maximals, because again, if you watch the transformation cycles, all the parts just go into this white void, and then all of the robot just comes out of the white void for it to work. There's no logic to it.
I mean, of the show characters, Black Arachnia is probably the most successful Maximal in how she translates across into toy form.
You mean from this toy line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were better Maximals, but the better figures than her were not from the show.
The only one I would say that was better than her is Aerial Attack Optimus Prime, and technically he didn't come out until a different line, even though he was meant to be. But otherwise, yes, she's the best out of the main Maximal cast of figures, if we're putting that prefix on it. I would agree with you.
Yeah. Kind of sucks, really, to be fair.
Unless Night/Cheetor was really good, because that was a figure that you and I both looked at and thought looked really good, but never got the chance to play with it. But it's like Max, the Mega, was it Mega, or it was Mega Cheetor, wasn't it? And then there was Supreme Cheetor, right?
Yeah,
I think so. It was something like that. I don't think it was the Ultra.
Yeah, because I mean, I have the Mega version. I've had it since it came out. I bought it on release.
It's not good.
It's not good. It purely because it's trying to do stuff that really that era of toys couldn't handle.
That was the last
Supreme version.
That was the last Beast Machines figure we had. It was Legends Cheeto. I just remembered. Do you remember? The Legacy line? They did the Legend scale version of Beast Machine's
Oh,
Cheeto.
God, yeah, they did, yeah.
I just remembered. I was like, oh, yeah. Huh.
I forgot that he was the sole...
He's the only one.
Representative of Beast Machines.
They've done no one else. It's like, oh, okay. I don't think it was bad for like a Legend scale thing. I know some people didn't like it, but it was like, yeah, he's Legend scale. He's fine. He's better than Bombers, who's a two figure.
Legend scale. What do you expect?
Yeah, he's fine. He stands. Yeah. He looks kind of lanky and weird, like a Beast Machine's kind of design should do. You know, it's like, yeah, he's fine. It's all right. But yeah, that's the Beast Machines toy line. I don't know what we're doing. What we'll be doing next toy wise. We could do the 07 movie line.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Ooh. But that's an interesting one, yeah.
Yeah, because
I'd be game for that.
Because I bought from like China or Japan or something that line. Because I was like, oh, I can't wait for these figures. Oh, the movie. Oh, I had a good day like when I got that box and just fiddled with all of them in one go. But yeah, I think next time I get you on the show, Big D, we could talk about the 07 movie, which I will mention. I don't have a positive outlook on any of the movie stuff, but I think I can objectively talk about the positives and the negatives of that line.
That's fair. I'm pretty much in the same boat. There are things I dislike about that toy line, but there are a couple of things where I do genuinely appreciate what they did.
The way I would describe that is very much like how I've tried to tackle us doing Beast Machines, right? There are some figures in here which are just bad, and there are some figures in here which I've enjoyed as well, and I think that's the same for the movie line as well.
Yeah. You can be critical without. I always try and be critical without being an asshole about it.
Yes, I like to think I hit that sometimes, maybe.
Yeah.
Simon Tang says, hi, Andy. What do you think of the new Fantastic Four reveals, Marvel Legends? I mean, well, unfortunately, Simon, we're going to be talking about that next week because I'll be on my own. And because I also want to talk about the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 reveals as well for the game figure, the Gamerverse figures.
I saw some of those and it's like, oh.
Yeah, they're doing Shuma Gorath, who they've clearly lost the name for and had to call Gargantos now. I thought that was a joke when they called him Gargantos in Multiverse of Madness, which is one of the worst MCU movies, one of the most damaging MCU movies. I was like, they don't be Gargantos, they're just being silly. It's like, no, he's called Gargantos now. I said this to Gruff when I told him, Gargantos is an anus name. Shuma Gorath? That sounds cool. That sounds like a Lovecraftian monster. Gargantos sounds like something that would have been made in the 60s for a B movie. The Attack of Gargantos.
I wonder if Shuma Gorath is tied up in the Conan, right?
I think the reason was copyright. So if it is tied in with Conan, then that would make sense. I think that's probably true.
Yeah, because I think he introduced him to Marvel Comics around the same time they started publishing Conan comics as well. So,
oh yeah, because Conan's tied in with Marvel now. But I wonder if like the
right. Well, he was the rights of about
they changed again.
And a half. Yeah, about 2 years ago. They're now with Titan.
Well, even then, I'm not sure. Like, I'm sure the licensing for having stuff in the comics would be different from selling toy product, because obviously that would be Hasbro having to deal with the people, not Marvel, but having to deal with going through Marvel to then deal with the license holders for that stuff. There's a lawyer bloody woo and nonsense.
Fun.
Nonsense and woo. And Excel's Head says, "Hey Hasbro, I'm waiting for my optimal Megatron. Gimme. Yeah, not for a while, I'm afraid. They're not gonna. You need to be happy with Studio Series, which I'll talk about next week. So, Big D, where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found? Goobly boobles.
Oh, I am everywhere as David Kelly. Look through this handsome visage crafted by Mr. Gruff, or a picture of Cup. One of those two. I'm an occasional contributor to UKAnime.net. I should really write some in a while. I am Mr. Gruff's, well, not reluctant sidekick, but he's roped me into doing the deeper dives, which you join us for occasionally for the Fluff and Hammer. I'm one of the mods over on the Discord. I do the watch along, which we did one last night because I'm not going to be around next Saturday because I have movies to watch instead.
Ooh, fun movies?
Yeah, I'm going to go and see the Dan movie.
Oh, is that just like a compilation of the season 1?
No, it leads into season 2.
Oh,
it's like
okay.
the first 3 episodes of season 2.
Okay. So it's a compilation of the first 3 episodes. So technically, I don't have to
I
see
might be
it.
wrong on that score.
All right.
And then from there, I'm driving to another cinema to go and watch Ballerina.
What's Ballerina?
It's the John Wick spin-off with Ana de Armas.
Okay. All right.
So, and I also host Fluff and Busters with Mr. White. We've just, we did a big old live chat on Friday, just gone. Yeah, last Friday. Yeah, we chatted about the Games Workshop Warhammer Skulls reveals for video games, and then halfway through we stopped to watch the Horus Heresy Saturnine reveal show and chat over that, which was quite good fun actually.
Was that the trailer for the new edition?
Yep. We watched a full hour-long show and talked over it, and then we chatted for we chatted for 3 hours.
What did you think of the trailer? Because I don't think the trailer was as good as the initial Horus Heresy release trailer. I think there were bits in it that I liked. Like I liked the talking points, but I didn't think the music was great for it, and I didn't think the cuts between the talking and the action flowed together well. Like you had the through narrative with Horus talking about how you've betrayed his father and I'm gonna poo in your cereal. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I mean, I quite enjoyed the fact that we basically got to hear Valdor and Malkador talking.
I like that, and the Silent Sister giving it 6 notes with their hands. I thought that was fun. Yeah.
Yep, because that is actually the first time we've had them given their own voice as opposed to being narrated by in an audiobook. The stuff Honest Van Free, yeah, that was probably. I do think that was probably the weakest bit, the action, just because they did have so much going on, and they would. I think what they were trying to tell you was the ambush of the Salamanders by the Iron Warriors, with the idea that this particular band are being the Salamanders are approaching what looks like a position of Iron Warriors who've been attacked and decimated. And that's not the case. But it's not easy to read that at first glance. And if you're aware of how the drop site massacre occurs, it doesn't quite make sense from that regard either. Because the whole point is that the initial 3 legions retreat to where their reinforcements have deployed. And the reinforcements of the other traitor legions who they only find out have turned traitor when they blow the crap out of them. So it's a bit weird in how they frame things.
Yeah,
I get what they were going for. It just reads a little oddly.
I get you.
But I mean, I thought it was a great reveal show. Otherwise, I mean, the set looks great. I'm intrigued because you know what I'm like. Small Marines in a big box. Gimme. I get some folks are annoyed that it's entered GW's 3-year cycle now.
Is that bad?
But for some folks, it is. Heresy's always the fact that the first edition of Heresy went so long before they switched it to a new edition. And now that it is quite obvious that they want to treat it like one of their pillar games. So yeah, they will do a new edition of it much more regularly, which I don't think is a bad thing.
I guess it depends, right? Because some changes can be positive, and then it might be the issue of like you keep touching it. And if you keep touching something, like in the kitchen, it's not a good thing to keep touching something.
I mean, the biggest issue I can, the one I really do understand, is that they've only released a new book for Heresy within the last couple of months.
Ah, okay.
And in fairness, it was a scenario. Well, there was the AdMech of the Mechanicum book, and there was a scenario book. Now, the thing is, the scenario books, if you've got them, you can still use them. You just need to tweak stuff. The rules inside, because all the rules have been, they've got basically whole new rules coming in for the new edition. So you will need to rebuy all your army books, but they're making pretty much all of them available on day one with the launch of the box. So you can buy your Liber Astartes, Heretic Astartes, your Liber Solar Auxilia, Mechanicum book, your Knight book. The only one they've not listed as being available to buy on day one is the Talons of the Emperor, so your Custodes. This is a silent. But that's going to be a free PDF download until they get their book released.
Okay.
So that's not a bad thing to my mind. If you're having to wait, because there are still 40k players, and we're fully expecting an 11th edition to be next year. There's still armies that haven't had their 10th edition codex yet, and it's not on the timeline, as far as we're aware. It's not been revealed anyway. So, yeah, it's just one thing to get used to. And I mean, hey, it's given us lots more plastic Space Marine to play with.
I see. Not being into Horus Heresy, the game, it's difficult for me to know what the downside would be. But I'm sure there are there are reasonable reasons why people might not be happy. Why it's in the 3 years cycle. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, folks have issue with it, and I understand it completely.
Yeah,
I'm not as much of a player. I think also it's because Heresy has always skewed more towards players who are in the age where you normally play historical games.
Oh, okay.
Historicals tend to be on a much slower side. Some historical games haven't ever changed in literal decades.
Right.
I mean, Bolt Action's only just entering 3rd edition, and it's been going nearly 15, 20 years at this point.
Well, I guess there's a benefit to that. You don't need to learn new rules. It's just you play the game. It's like, yep, well, there you go. Enjoy.
Yeah. But, I mean, end of the day, they're putting in changes that I think are intended to give the game more flexibility for what they can do stat-wise. Because one of the problems of Heresy, what's helped make it balanced is the fact that everything is, 80% of the armies are Space Marine. Then you've got AdMech, the equivalent of Guard, and the Talons where you got Custodes. But everything else is Space Marines.
Yeah.
So that's meant it's actually very easy to balance that game. But it also means you can't get much. Trying to differentiate units is very hard. Where they're bringing back the old leadership, cool, willpower, and there was another one. They brought back the old 4 leadership characteristics from Rogue Trader days. And the way they've explained it is that, that actually gives you a lot more ways to play things. You can have a character, if you have like a mind-locked servitor unit, they're not going to crack under fire, so their cool is going to be really high. But they have no will of their own, so they'll have zilch willpower. So it gives you it gives the designers more flexibility without changing the more solid stat line, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I'm intrigued to see where it goes, though, because it's always fun.
Any other places you can be found in Big D?
No, that was a digression, which Shouldn't be a surprise to anyone who's listened to me. No, that's it. Thank you.
Right, well, you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as Decayed Andy. You can find me streaming Nier Replicant at the moment and Metal Bringer, which we're getting through slowly.
Nice.
You can find us on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, Twitch, iTunes, and Libsyn, Moonbase 2 Transformers podcast. If you want to join us on a Sunday, it's going to be at 9:30 on both YouTube and on Twitch as well. So if you want to come on by like the people have tonight, thank you very much to those who have. And you may join us
cheers,
then.
folks.
Oh, we're also on the ccbunker.weebly.com if you want to get us that way. Big thanks again, Big D, for coming on the show this week again.
No worries. Always a pleasure.
And we will catch you next week for talking about some Marvel stuff and obviously all the stuff in the Transformers world that's happened this week and next week, which granted, after the Megatron accidental reveal, there might not be a huge amount revealed. Who knows? I guess we'll see. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Yeah. See you, folks.
Bye-bye.